My welding teacher always tells us because he's very be like, even if you don't know what to do and you don't want to work, at least go to community college. It's a lot cheaper and it gives you 2 more years of your life to figure out what you do.
Question everything. Question everything.
Hello, welcome back to the Question Everything podcast. I'm here with my 2 favorite co-hosts.
Oh,
Francisco.
Lupe.
And then we're also here with our teacher, wonderful teacher.
so how about this? Since you are starting your college application, one of the biggest questions is college a scam? Ooh.
Depends on what you
I won't say anything.
Yeah.
You guys explore it, and then I'll ask questions.
That depends on whether you're.
It depends your major for me.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, any like profession that are for saving people's lives, I feel like you need a degree because your people's lives are in hand. You know what to do, what can go wrong, and all that. But if you're going for like more liberal arts, like if you're going for like music major, art, and all that, is a scam.
Yeah, I have a cousin who majored in music, and now he's working as a substitute, like teacher.
Oh, so the goal of this question is not to say college a scam or not a scam. The goal is for you guys to explore the concept of choosing the right major, right? So let's go over there. Francisco, what are you going to major in? And we can do evaluation. We can actually evaluate if that is the best fit to go to college or not. So what do you want to do?
I'm trying to major in journalism.
Okay.
Because I want to be an editor for newspaper, so particularly the New York Times.
Okay.
So.
How about you?
I want to be a pilot, so I'm gonna go to college for aviation flight. But there's a reason why. So I was looking at colleges price compared to like actual trade schools for that. I saw a college is more economical for me because instead of just for a regular like flight trade school, it only gets you to your private license and that's it.
Oh.
While most colleges gets you to your commercial license.
Ooh, okay.
If you go for like a 4 university, most of them have like commercial license pathways, and that's more economical for me because at least it continues paying for itself every year, adding onto it, and instead of me just getting my pilot license, I have to pay for gas, plane, all that, and all the extra, and having to find my own hours instead of being able to do it in a class setting. And also, at that point, I have like more instructors. They'll also pay for my instrument license and all that. That's also a reason why. But the only thing that kind of sucky is I do have to pay like $20,000 out of pocket every year for the labs of the flight labs. But I feel like that for me is more economical.
Oh, okay. And you learn all this through research. So that's really cool. How about let's jump to you.
Marine biology.
What made you pursue in that kind of pathway?
I like going in the water,
you
so
like
I want to go on field, like actually in the oceans
Okay.
and stuff.
Okay. So
Do you know
now
how to swim?
we get those 3 careers along the line. Which career do you think most affected by AI?
Most affected by AI?
Sorry, dude.
Of the 3?
Yes.
Sorry, dude.
But that's okay. The reason why we have this conversation is that even though it is affected by AI, because if you can figure out which part of journalism is affected by AI, you can actually improve on it, right? If you can find your weaknesses, you can work on that weaknesses and improve it. So, have you ever thought about that, Francisco, before in terms of what part of journalism that you pursue is going to affect by AI?
Yeah.
They would.
Yeah, but
Definitely, mostly the writing part and like the actually like editing. That's like the main thing. The stories aren't that affected because it usually mostly depends on things that are like currently transpiring. So there is no prior database on it. As soon as the first people put it online, then AI can start doing its thing. But before then, it's not that part isn't as affected. So the actual like research and like discovering the actual stories and things.
Are you guys familiar with journalism?
Yeah.
Okay. What makes journalism so unique today comparing to the back in the day?
Nowadays, there's a lot more independent journalism, but single people than whole publication. There's still like publications and like newspapers around, but like more independent journalism has become more like popular and mainstream and stuff.
I think it's also because of the internet where like now you can write about anything. Back then it had to be like thoroughly reviewed, see if it's safe for the public and all that.
With social media, it's been a lot like easier to actually like create and like share different things online.
And also now there's different types of journaling. There's video journaling, actual writing journaling, stuff like that, right?
Oh, that's really cool. I heard someone before I left. I heard someone about independent journalism. That is something that's new today, right? Because in the back of the day, if you're a journalist, you really had to go to CNN, Fox News, all those major
publishing
networks.
company.
But now people are making millions and millions of dollars by having their own independent journalists do their own research, their own team. And that is something AI can never replace. If you're in a podcast, do you know any of the famous independent journalists or podcaster now? What do they call it, right? Be it a podcast or kind of journalist. The big one. Do you know any big name out there?
Do you know any big names?
Do you guys listen to podcasts?
I
No.
listen to podcasts, but the podcasts I usually listen to are like more money, financial based. They're mainly like talking about other people's finances, about how. So I watched this really good one called Financial Audit, and it's about this guy who helps people who are in really bad financial situation. And let's say you're like $1,000 in debt, and now that, and he tells you like, okay, these are things you can cut out. He basically like shames you on camera to realize your mistakes.
Okay.
And then he gives you tips on how to fix them.
How about you? Going back to you, Francisco. Do you think that is a form of journalism?
I do believe that is a form of
Okay.
journalism.
How about you? What we're going to shift away from journalism, a little, marine biology. What school do you plan to go or hope to go?
Hopefully Monterey Bay,
Ooh, beautiful place.
because it's close by. I'll still be able to visit like here sometimes,
Okay.
but they have
Monterey Bay
like
is not close by.
as
Monterey
close
Bay-
as
The
possible.
closest. Yes.
Like one of the closest ones.
Yeah.
Monterey Bay is in NorCal.
I know, but still.
Like-
It's like
Yeah,
7
but
hour
it's, like,
drive.
still, 7 hours ain't hurt no one.
How about San Diego State?
That was where I was originally planning to go, but I looked into it, and I think Monterey Bay would be a better fit,
Okay.
honestly.
Okay, that's cool. Let's jump back to the ideas of college is a scam, and you get proof that's not a scam. Is you have to be really self-aware of what you want a career in. In this case, you are choosing the path, the weaknesses, and the strength behind it. So, for example, piloting, that is an amazing choice. No AI will take over that job for
Yeah,
sure.
it really can't. It's because there's many reasons to it. The main reason is because the FFA wouldn't allow it, like the FAA, the Federal Aviation Association, wouldn't allow it at all. Due to how they're very strict on everything.
Yes.
Extremely strict. One mistake can cost you your license to be revoked if you cause a crash because of that one mistake. Especially with AI and how unstable it can be and how anyone can manipulate it, they wouldn't allow it because you have so many people's lives on the line.
They do have sensors to assist
Yeah.
the pilot, but never full
No,
AI
never full
run.
AI.
That's pretty cool. Smart
And they're
choice.
full control.
So we already talked about how journalism is a great choice if you become know the weaknesses behind.
Independent studies, yeah. And even if like we knew the weaknesses, right? If AI is prevalent in the field, then we can also use that to our advantage. And the way I'm even thinking about it is, and I'm pretty sure they do this in certain like editorials, where it's like when like a new like important story, like maybe the president goes out and goes to talk to another country, right? They can like they all create these stories, right? If we still want to add like new facts and stuff to that same story, could use AI to see what has already been written about it, quickly summarize it, and then see what hasn't been done, put something new.
A big trend right now, a lot of people make money on it, is actually being a news journalist go out and do the camera. You know what they do? Annotate on top of the news from Fox News, CNN, all those things. And they themselves put their own opinion and commentary on it. So they become commentator of the news itself. And that's a huge trend right now. People actually translate in Spanish because there's a huge population of non-English speaking who are out there. And there's a big one right now in Chinese, in Vietnamese, in any language you can think of. They would have commentator and they would translate the news and they input their own little opinion, little twist in it.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. I think journalism is not dead because of AI. It's actually technology actually amplified. You can now actually have your own voice without getting canceled, all those things. That's cool.
I think that's more of just are people in the journalism industry are like willing to use AI.
Yeah.
Okay.
That could also be a reason
see.
why.
Or you guys pursue in the path of being yourself an independent journalist because you do marine biology? Are you going to plan to block your journey of marine biology?
Probably, yeah, or at least document it with photos and videos and all that.
Yeah, I love National Geographic. Yeah, growing up watching those things has always been amazing. That's pretty cool. So, what do you think people should do, like your age or high school student age, should do before they go to college to avoid that scam part?
Definitely find something that's the right fit for them.
Research a lot of research. I know.
You go. No, you.
I know for me, what I want to do took me like a whole year to realize what was better for me.
Oh.
Because I only started like this aviation passion in like sophomore year after I took a class at it. But then I realized like, hey, and I started looking at flight schools and everything. I looked at the prices and I realized that's not as economical for me compared to other things. And it was a whole point where do I also want to do a different major instead of this? And I was like, no. Overall, I had to choose like aviation. I just have to. It's like a whole bunch of research. It took like a whole year and a half for me to decide what I wanted to do.
That's really cool because you actually went out and do the research yourself before decide what college you want to go to, what major, if that major is even valid or economical to some extent. Okay, how about you, Francisco? Do you take a lot of time to research about what you want to do?
Yes, I did. I've mostly, prior to the end of last year and this year, I had mostly just been like set on like education, right? But the thing with that was that studying like general education or like higher education doesn't really give like any like specific like field skills. It's just kind of education in general. So that's why I decided, something I really like is journalism. So I could always major in that, have a career in that, and then always have education also as a secondary option. I could always get a teaching credential and teach in one of various subjects. So
yeah, that's really cool. That's really smart of you because when you're a journalist, you are pretty much a learner. And when you are a learner, you can be anything.
Yeah.
There are a lot of business people, a lot of lawyers. Guess what they end up? Journalism. Some of the famous journalists or even news anchor, they never had any specific field in terms of journalism, but they transitioned to it. And a lot of them are actually quite lawyers. And then the next thing you know, you become a politician one day. Yeah. So now what about those kids who never look into looking for a job? What is your advice for them? What should they do now? Because college applications like due in 1 month. Is it too late for them?
No.
they still have time. And if they get their act together, they should be able to figure out something that they can enjoy. Obviously, you can always apply to college and be undecided. There's always that possibility.
There's also always community college. Go and add to it.
Yeah. And while we're talking about community college, we should talk about the financial part of college.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
What do you guys know about the financial aspect of community college versus Cal State or UC?
Community college are like $47 per class.
Ooh.
Because I was looking at it. I was looking at community college because there's a community college here that has an aviation program that's like only an hour away from us. So it's like I was looking at that one a lot compared to going to an actual 4-year, because also I said my major gets like $20,000 and it's $20,000 per year in flight labs. So I have to think about more economically for me. I feel like community college is very economical because not only is your financial aid going to cover everything, even if you don't make a lot of financial aid, at least cover most of it in community college compared to if you make too much, compared to an actual UC or Cal State. Because for me and my family, we make a little too much to get like a whole bunch of stuff. So if I wanted to go, I either have to go to a UC and have everything covered, or because of course we're residents here in California, so we get it cheaper compared to everyone else.
Okay. So residency, it's in-state is really important because that saves so much money as well. Now, okay, you mentioned community college is a tiny fraction of the whole entire cost to some extent. So those who really don't know if they want to go to college, at least they should step into community college to get us started, right?
That's what my welding teacher always tells us, because he's very be like, even if you don't know what to do and you don't want to work, at least go to community college. It's a lot cheaper and it gives you 2 more years of your life to figure out what you do without having to be like fully thrusted into the real world, like having to pay bills and all that because you're a student, right?
Yeah.
And if you really like college, you can still go on and go to an actual 4-year after that.
I see. So no matter what, you should be passing high school, go to college.
If you don't know what to do.
If you don't know what to do, go to college. And if you don't know what to do, go to college, figure it out. Look at the career. Or if you don't go to college, you better read research like you did. Read research as much as you can with today's technology. What is the best choice for me? Or even go into work in the field that you love or pursue in, and then intern at it. And then go to college from there to get a better pay rate.
Trade schools are always an option too.
Okay. What about those kids who just outside? What about the kid who find way to cheat in class and now they don't have the skill and then they go to college and they find themselves struggle so much? What should you tell them?
You can always apply yourself.
Yeah.
It's not that you don't have the skills. You don't want to apply. You don't want to learn the skills.
Okay, I see.
Because I know a lot of us here, at least I didn't learn how to properly study until I was junior. right? Because I was always considered one of those smart kids, and I know you were too, Francisco.
I fell off from like studying.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
we both had to fall off because we didn't really know how to do, like, we never really got the skills studying because we learned everything naturally.
Yeah,
So
it
we
was-
never
it
needed
was,
to
like,
study.
So simple to just know everything, like for tests and stuff. We like never had to study to still pass. 'cause
Yeah.
it was
After
like
one
it just
lesson, you
came.
remember it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Still.
Because one of the things I discovered this year, a few years back, is that kids today, they don't open a book or read or listen to a podcast or anything of anymore outside school. All they go is go to school, do homework, and go home, sleep, and play video game or watching Netflix. Yeah. So the thing about that, yes, sure.
Many kids don't know how to read in English.
Oh, yeah. That's
Oh,
true,
yeah.
too.
See, oh,
Literacy is an all-time low.
so do you think people don't know how to read because they're not being forced to learn in the first place?
Maybe people just
I feel-
don't care about it.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like they know how to read, but they don't know how to dissect it. So that's why
Yeah.
you don't know how to read, because you don't develop the literary skills to be able to dissect the text.
You're just reading the words.
Yeah.
You're just
They
taking in
don't-
the information.
Or
and
they just
that's it.
reading
don't
the
eat-
word for the answer. I see.
So they don't know how to dissect it, internalize it, and remember it later on. Like how when most of us read books in our classes, usually the teacher tells us we usually stop like every page, every 2 pages to talk more about it.
And then there's
Um,
certain parts that are like made memorable.
Yeah, and then you start laughing certain parts because other students were doing like funny voices, and then you guys
Okay.
talk about that funny part and all that.
I see.
But then now kids nowadays, I don't know about because we're biased because we're in AP class.
I'm in the normal
Yeah.
classes.
Does that happen in your normal class where they force you to read and apply the content? It doesn't have to be the teacher doing the reading for you, but do they force you to read and apply the content to actively learn?
A lot of popcorn reading, or if it's like a
Yeah.
play type where we did with the Crucible, everyone would have different voices and like different
Everyone have
people.
their own character,
Everyone had their
their
own
own
character and
parts.
stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
And then that kind of makes us be like, and that kind of makes us more involved in the text. And even if it's not different voices, sometimes they'd use like audiobooks, but then we
Yeah.
read along with it, and then we stop and then talk about it and then continue.
We had to. I know last year what we did. We would be reading a book, and then we would have to write like summaries.
Yeah.
Different like questions that we had about
Yeah.
certain parts,
Honestly,
stuff like that.
Sometimes we never even finished the book. We just read. We just got like through some pages, stopped reading, and watched the movie instead because no one was paying attention to the book or wanting to
Oh,
read
yeah,
it.
That's the biggest problem. We might continue the topic of literacy next in the next episode. It's such an interesting topic.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching Question Everything podcast, where we talked about literacy, finance, our majors, and what do we think of college.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for watching. Goodbye, peoples.
Francisco signing off.
Lupe signing off.
And this is Alondra signing off. Have a good
Oh.
night.